I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling-related things all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. And this week we actually had two events. We had Impact Wrestling's biggest night of the year, Bound for Glory, as well as WWE Extreme Rules 2022. Like you guys know, I can only do one a week, can't do them both, so I'm going to do Extreme Rules this week, and you'll get my review on Bound for Glory next week. So this week, let's get into Extreme Rules. So the opening match was a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. This match started in 5th gear and never went down. And of course, there were plenty of Donnybrook-style weapons. Shillelaghs, barrels, bars. Not metal bars, like serving drinks. Bars. This match was extremely brutal and chaotic. Even up until the part when Sheamus put Gunther through the announce table with a high cross. Then soon after, a bro kick to Giovanni Vinci got the Brutes the win. This was a hell of an opening match that I would give a 5 out of 5. Yeah! The second match, an Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Challenger Ronda Rousey taking on champion Liv Morgan. I will give it this, it was definitely better than their last encounter. The last time they fought, it was, well, like this, it was very one-sided, but this time Liv Morgan did put in a little bit more offense, but still mostly defense. But some of the offense she put in was putting Ronda Rousey through a table. But then Ronda Rousey not only got Liv Morgan into an armbar, but was using her legs to choke Liv Morgan and choked her out to the point that she was unresponsive. Therefore, Ronda Rousey wins and is now the SmackDown Women's Champion for a second time. Like I said, this match was good. I can't take anything away from it. I just don't like how they kind of made it seem like Liv Morgan was just lucky in this title reign. But who knows where it'll lead. For right now, this one gets a good solid 4 out of 5. Yay! The third match, a strap match between Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross. This match had so much story in it, though. Like, the brutality of this match wasn't even the star of it. It was just the story being told. For example, in the beginning, Karrion Kross refusing to put on his strap so that Drew McIntyre would let his guard down and he could beat the crap out of him. At least until Drew McIntyre got the upper hand, threw him in the ring, and forced the strap onto his wrist so they could actually begin the match. More drama unfolding, though, when Drew McIntyre hurt his shoulder, and of course, Kross capitalized on that for the duration of the match. In the end, though, as we would expect, Scarlett got involved, spraying pepper spray into Drew McIntyre's eyes so that Kross could get the cross hammer on Drew McIntyre and the pin and win the strap match. This match can't possibly give it less than 4 out of 5. Yay! Then, for the Raw Women's Championship, a ladder match between challenger Bayley and Bianca Belair. This was also being hailed as the first ever ladder match between two women. Technically, yes, if you want to split hairs there, I mean, there's been women's Money in the Bank matches, but this was the first one-on-one women's ladder match. We honestly didn't know who was going to win this match because the strategy that Bayley kept employing throughout the match was spot on. It was like she had definitely studied her opponent. Plus, there was the added factor of we knew Damage Control was going to come out and get involved. Which they did, even though Bianca Belair's friends are out of commission, but it didn't help. Because eventually Bianca Belair was able to fight him off and get the KOD onto Bayley while Bayley was holding half of a ladder, which knocked Bayley out long enough for Bianca Belair to climb up and get the belt. Therefore, Bianca Belair retains, and I give this match a 4 out of 5. Yay! Then one of the matches that I had been really anticipating, the I Quit match between Edge and Finn Balor. In my opinion, this feud with Judgment Day has been one of the best things going on in WWE for a while now. It was an I Quit match, so of course the match was intense. But it wasn't really intense because of the brutality. Again, it was intense because of the story, the rivalry, everything centering around it. The brutality was honestly second. Heck, it was even intense when Finn Balor came out in a spiked mask. But of course, as we knew, in this match, eventually, the remaining members of Judgment Day were going to come out. And they did, Rhea Ripley handcuffing Edge to the top rope. And of course, that meant that Rey Mysterio was going to come out and try to help, but didn't, as Dominic laid a beating on Rey Mysterio, because obviously Rey Mysterio won't fight back against his son Dominic. But then someone who had no problem taking a fight to Dominic, Edge's wife, Beth Phoenix, came in, cleared Judgment Day, took out Ripley long enough to get the key from her and unlock her husband's handcuffs. Makes me wonder how many times she's had to do that in the past. But the thing is, Edge had talked about there was no amount of pain or brutality that they were going to inflict on him that was going to make him say, "I quit." So they had to go another route, which they did. While the men in the Judgment Day were holding him back, Rhea Ripley took out his wife with a pair of brass knuckles and then threatened to get her with a concerto unless he said, "I quit," which worked. For his wife's sake, he said, "I quit." And then Rhea Ripley did the concerto anyway. Meaning this is definitely not done, and now Beth Phoenix is involved. Which makes sense, because they need a woman for Rhea Ripley. But ultimately, Judgment Day wins. This match was awesome. This match was brutal. And I'm glad we're going to get more of it in the future, because I give this one a 5 out of 5. Yeah! And then the main event, which was not a title match, because Roman Reigns doesn't want to defend the title all the time. I mean, heck, the idea of us having a full-time champion now is just anarchy, I guess. However, this was a suitable replacement for a title match, as Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins would continue their rivalry in a fight pit. Honestly, I've been waiting for the fight pit to come to the main stage. It's an awesome match. As we know, there are no ropes, it's just cage, and at the top of the cage there is a platform so that they can't get out. Then again, it wouldn't matter because the only way to win is through submission or knockout inside the ring. And to add a little bit more drama, special guest referee, UFC legend, Daniel Cormier. Not to mention, as Seth Rollins has been known to do on pay-per-views to taunt his opponents, came out in garb dressed like Rob Van Dam, one of Matt Riddle's favorite wrestlers. The fight pit is always great. I mean, to my knowledge, this is only the third one, but still, it's a freaking great match. And it didn't disappoint. And honestly, it gets the nerves going because it's kind of scary when they're wrestling and doing certain things up on the catwalk. It's almost like the emotion we used to get for a scaffold match, except better because they do more now. And it was after them fighting on the catwalk that Riddle got Seth Rollins back into the ring and hit him with a Broton from the top of the cage. And then from there, getting him in a triangle choke to the point that Seth Rollins tapped out. This was a great main event. Wouldn't say it was match of the night, but very good. Give it a 4 out of 5. Then, as if the matches themselves weren't great enough, we finally got the answer to all the White Rabbit stuff that's been going on, as the White Rabbit came out. And yes, we had all pretty much guessed who it was, but still the anticipation was building and growing as we finally saw the return of Bray Wyatt. That was a fantastic way to end that night. So, Extreme Rules overall was freaking awesome. The kind of pay-per-view I've been waiting for since Triple H took over. Not one match was just okay. Every match was either fantastic or just great. That was the worst a match got on this pay-per-view. It was great. Not to mention to end the night with Bray Wyatt's return. We've been waiting for this for a while, especially since Triple H took over. Now, some people are already expressing a little disappointment because the fact that he came out with that White Rabbit mask is kind of alluding to the whole Fiend thing is done. But I will say, as much as I love the Fiend, I'm okay with this. Because Bray Wyatt has shown in the past that he's a master of reinventing himself. And every time he reinvents himself, it's even cooler than the time before, and it's always been awesome. So I'm just strapping in and getting ready for the ride to see what's going on here. Especially now that Triple H has taken over. Maybe he will take the reins off of Bray Wyatt and just let him go, which is kind of what needs to happen. Because if that happens, Bray Wyatt can be an iconic figure like The Undertaker. Time will tell. And yes, we all predicted it's that internet age, but you know what? Just because we predicted it didn't make it any less exciting. The whole night, though, is exciting. The only thing disappointing about the night, again, to me, is no championship title match, which is something that is very lacking in these pay-per-views, which I'm hoping they will correct soon. I know that Roman Reigns is defending the title in the next pay-per-view against Logan Paul. Then again, who cares? I don't think anybody is believing that Logan Paul is going to win, and, well, he better not, because as much as I don't want Roman Reigns as the champion anymore, definitely don't want it on Logan Paul, a guy who's had 2 matches, and only one of them being a singles match. But the fact that the fight pit was in the main event was a great final match for the night. But then again, like I said, every match tonight was awesome. But again, the only point I can take away is the no championship match. So I will, though, give Extreme Rules 2022 a good solid 4 out of 5. There you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Extreme Rules 2022. Tell me if you're excited about the Bray Wyatt return. Love you guys.